It's the 16th of December 2020, 9 days to Christmas. Hello and welcome to Joy News at 6 with me, Benis Abubeidu Lansa.
I am Reverend Dr. Cyril Gershon Fayose, General Secretary of the Christian Council of Ghana. I say yes to peace, and I urge you to also do the same.
The news is live on Joy 99.7 and Hits 103.9 FM in Accra. Also on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi. Affiliates across Ghana, including Radio Fumbisi in Fumbisi and worldwide at myjoyonline.com. Coming up, Fire Service says its investigations into a fire at the Electoral Commission's office in Fomena on Election Day points to arson.
Take a gallon of petrol here. You can just smell a petrol inside. There's an exhibit.
We have a report into disturbances at the constituency, which was declared a flashpoint prior to the election. Also,
they asked that I come along with them, but I couldn't. So they showed me a picture of my girl. It was her. She had several bullet wounds on her chest.
We continue our series on the cost of electoral violence. We have the story of a 15-year-old girl who died at the Ododo-Diodio constituency during the electioneering period.
And in business, new Bank of Ghana data indicates a 5 cedis 83 pesos as end-of-year cedi to dollar rate.
Also, governing MPP's committee set up to investigate loss of its parliamentary seats begins work today.
For us to have just a slim majority is something that we can't count on us. We've even set up the committee already.
We've got details in a moment. Thanks for your company. Today we begin from the Ashanti region, where the National Fire Service says its preliminary investigations into fire that guarded the office of the Electoral Commission at Fomena on Election Day point to arson. Police have taken up the matter as fire officials prepare to conclude their investigations. A week after the polls, Nanaya Ojima went back to the constituency to follow up on violence recorded on the day. Here's his report.
A gallon smelling of petrol was found around the building. A hole was also made in the window of the building, suspected to have been used as passage for the fire. DO3 Oscar Opoku leads the fire service in Fomena.
Take a gallon of petrol here. You can just smell a petrol inside. There's an exhibit. The EC office, their documents have got bent, but notwithstanding, the ballot boxes and the papers are all intact.
At the dawn of the incident, some supporters of the NPP had gathered at the Coalition Center at Fomena, sighted a few meters from the EC office. They were protesting what they called rigged election in favor of the independent candidate. The agitated crowd was stopped by the armed police and military personnel from invading the center to disrupt the process. It is suspected the mob started the inferno, but police are yet to make an arrest. The constituency had recorded a number of violent incidents prior to the election, justifying reasons for being tagged a flashpoint. Seth Odo, who worked for the independent candidate in the Fomena parliamentary race, is a victim of the violent assault.
They were beating me here and there. So I tried to dodge some of the bros, and others who hit me because they were many.
Victims point to heavily built men associated with an NPP executive in the area, but party denied the allegation. NPP parliamentary candidate Philip Oforiasante spoke to Joy News.
I'll be a fool to do that. Why would I do that? Don't pass it from my stronghold. Why would I do that? Or Chichire, it's my stronghold. Or Bobrias, it's my stronghold. Why would I do that? Or Abedjum, or Nyabrim, or Akrezungu. These are my strongholds. Let nobody deceive nobody. Trust me.
Nanaya Ojima with that report. Well, Ododo-Diodio in Accra is another constituency which was classified as a flashpoint prior to the elections. A 15-year-old girl is one of two teenagers who died during the disturbances. She died in that constituency, and as Menu returned to the area to speak to her family and friends.
We're here now at Bukom to speak to the family of one of the victims. Aside Emmanuel, there was a young lady, 15 years of age, Rita, who was also shot and died eventually. We'll speak to the mother of the 15-year-old and some relatives here at Bukom.
After I had voted, I decided to go do business because I'm a single parent. I have no one to help me. Soon after I returned from the market, I heard people screaming. They said my daughter was dead, but I couldn't believe it. So I followed up to the hospital, and indeed, I saw my daughter was dead.
Rita's grandmother believes she was shot multiple times on the chest.
I was about to take a nap when someone told me that my granddaughter had been shot dead. They asked that I come along with them, but I couldn't. So they showed me a picture of my girl. It was her. She had several bullet wounds on her chest. My granddaughter is dead.
Ernest Menu with that report. And General Secretary of the governing NPP, John Boadu, says the committee set up to probe the party's parliamentary laws will begin their work today. The committee, which is led by Senior Minister Yao Safomaf, is expected to bring a report and recommendations to the party within 1 month. Over 40 NPP MPs lost their seats to the NDC in the just-ended elections. Here's John Boadu speaking to John Easus Kwesi Parker-Wilson.
For us to have just a slim majority is something that we can't count on us. But we are going to work after elections. We'll put together a committee to review what we did best, what we didn't do better, and all that. So those things will be done. We've even set up the committee already. They will start their work.
You heard General Secretary of the governing NPP, John Boadu. The Environment Ministry is warning of serious food safety problems for a significant number of Ghanaians who patronize food from Agbubulushi and other markets where electronic waste isn't properly disposed. Officials of the ministry have been discussing solutions to this problem with editors of some media organizations in Ghana. Here's Judith Awochetando's report read to you.
The Agbubulushi market is one of the biggest in Ghana, with traders and patrons traveling from far and near to do business here. But it is also the scene of persistent dumping of e-waste materials collected by scavengers and other scrap dealers. The government's agency responsible for the environment says this presents a potential health crisis for the country. Lydia Isua is Director of Policy Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation at the Environment Ministry.
The burning and the dumping leads to some matching of hazardous materials into the soil. A news broke out last year indicating that the eggs that we are eating are largely contaminated.
A study conducted by Grant et al. 2020 recorded negative outcomes associated with exposure to e-waste, including change in thyroid function, changes in cellular expression and function, and decreased lung function. The ministry said it has come up with an e-waste recycling program which seeks to reward scrap dealers in exchange for all e-waste materials collected in Accra.
So one of the things that the ministry did was to engage the German Development Corporation for some support to provide incentives.
Judith Awochetando's report for Joy News.
Education Minister Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh has assured the University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG, that their concerns about the Public Universities Bill will be addressed before Parliament approves the document. Parliament resumed work on the bill on Tuesday, and UTAG says that bill will undermine academic independence and give government unfettered control over universities. Dr. Charles Marfo is president of UTAG.
I'm disappointed that we have not been presented with any bill to scrutinize, to peruse, and something is being debated on. And if you read our memo, we made it very clear on the first page that the bill in its current state stands against the Constitution of Ghana.
Well, Education Minister Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh says Parliament will incorporate the concerns of UTAG.
The universities were consulted, and it is their requests that the proposals that they brought in that led to the large number of amendments, which has